Mambo vipi wapenzi watazamaji popote mlipo, karibu tena kwenye mwendelezo wa mazungumzo yetu. Mimi ni Mr. Eagle Ezra. Aliyekuwa naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua mnamo siku ya Jumapili tarehe 1 Novemba, yani tarehe 1 Disemba kuniradi, mwaka 2024 aliweza kuzungumza na wanahabari kwa mara ya kwanza tangia alipoweza kushambuliwa upande wa Limuru, Kiambu County tarehe 28 Novemba na kikosi cha vijana ambao walikuwa wameweza kupangwa na wale ambao wako mamlakani. Kulingana na naibu rais wa zamani ama naibu rais wa pili Rigathi Gachagua, anaeleza yote na kusema kwamba isingalikuwa wananchi ambao waliweza kumuokoa kipindi ambacho hao vijana ambao walikuwa wamejipanga kwa mapanga, kwa shime, kwa mawe, sasa hivi angekuwa ameaga dunia. Kitu cha kwanza, Rigathi Gachagua anashuku kwamba vijana wale walikuwa wamepangwa na utawala ambao uko mamlakani, kwa sababu mpaka sasa hivi hakuna yule ambaye ameweza kutiwa mbaroni, kwa sababu aliweza kuharibu hafla ambayo Rigathi Gachagua alikuwa. Namba 2, Gachagua anasema kwamba mbunge wa Limuru Bwana John, badala ya kukaa kwenye jukwaa la viongozi ambao ni VIP, aliweza kukuja akaketi kwenye tent, kwenye hema tofauti, ishara kwamba alikuwa amejitenga kutoka kwa hawa viongozi ambao walikuwa wanaenda kushambuliwa. So kulingana na Gachagua, anaeleza kwamba alikuwa amelengwa kuuawa. Na nielewa wapenzi watazamaji, kwa sababu this is a situation whereby Gachagua ameweza kueleza wanahabari kwamba bouncers ambao alikuwa ameweza kuabiri baada ya serikali kuchukua maafisa wa polisi, iliweza kubidi wakamlalia kutoka juu ndani ya gari ili asije akagongwa, because wale bouncers na wananchi walienda wakamrusha ndani ya gari. Kutoka ndani ya gari, bouncers ambao alikuwa ameabiri, alikuwa amehaya, wakaenda wakalala kutoka juu ya viti. So wale vijana ambao walikuwa wametarget Rigathi Gachagua walikuwa wanagonga bouncers. Sometimes bouncers bwana wako na kazi.
This interview by saying that in Limuru it was a carefully planned effort to eliminate you.
I'll come to that.
I would really want to know, because that's what you started with.
I'll come to that.
Who planned it?
I'll come to that. So, whoever removed security from me to expose me is government, so that I'm exposed. On arrival in Limuru, I had like 8-10 young people as bouncers, private bodyguards without, none of them was armed. And we settled down, and in the VIP tent, on my side was Senator for Kiambu, and on my right was the immediate former MP for Limuru, Peter Mwathi. Suspiciously, the member of parliament for the area never sat with us. He sat across in another tent, and he was busy on the phone throughout because we were just sitting directly opposite him. And everything went on very well until the speeches. When the Honorable Peter Mwathi was speaking, a few characters started shouting at him, and it created a commotion. And then some heavily built guys who are hooded and others with masks came to the VIP tent and brought down the tent where we were, removed the metal bars that hold the tent. Others had stones, others had sticks, and all charged towards me very viciously, menacingly. And that is when we realized there was trouble. And the guys around me surrounded me and put a human shield around me. And a lot of people, when they realized a problem, they also joined. So we were one big group. So all the stones that were being thrown towards me were stopped by the people who were with me. And they took me right inside my car. And 3 of my guys put me down inside the car, flat on the car, on the back seat, and came on top of me. So these fellows now came with iron bars. They were looking for me. And they hit one of the fellows on the head. In fact, he's still in the hospital. And others were throwing stones inside the car. And they were shouting in the Kikuyu language that Gonga Kichwa, Uwa, and they were very vicious. In the whole of that funeral of a young man called Erastus, a friend of mine, there were over 2,000 people. Not a single police officer in uniform. A crowd of 2,000 people.
Tukiachana na haya ambayo Rigiji ameweza kuzungumza kuhusiana na jinsi ambavyo angeuawa mnamo tarehe 28 Novemba mwaka 2024, vile vile Bwana Rigathi Gachagua aliweza kuzungumzia issue ya SHA ambayo Wakenya wameweza kulazimishiwa kufanya nini? Kujisajili. Niliweza kuona Bwana Moses Kuria akiwatishia wananchi kwamba Januari watoto wao hawataweza kurudi shuleni endapo mzazi hajaweza kurejista katika SHA. So Rigiji ameweza kusema kwamba serikali yani imeweza kutumia bilioni 104 kuunda system ya SHA. Badala wangeweza kutumia pesa kidogo kama shilingi milioni 700 weza kumove wananchi kutoka NHIF kuelekea SHA. Msikilize Rigiji akizungumza.
Mr. President, the people have a problem.
Fair enough. You have mentioned that the crux of the matter, and I'm sorry for taking you back, but it's really important that you bring it out. The crux of the matter on SHA is 104 billion shillings that was being used for the system. What do Kenyans need to know about this?
Kenyans need to speak out. You know,
they need to speak out about something they know.
104 billion shillings. Karanja. It's not 104 shillings. It's serious money. And experts have told me that it was possible to improve the existing system that was in NHIF at a cost of between 7 to 800 million. Here we are spending over 100 billion. And from where I sit, when I look at the whole rush of this SHA shift thing, it is because of this 104 billion. That is where the issue is.
And because in this you were in cabinet, who was tasked in handling this? Who was tasked?
The Ministry of Health. Again, the president works here as a team of economic advisors who do most of the work with him before things can come to cabinet. This is where all these details were worked out. And you have heard that even people in that economic advisory council, their spouses are involved in that system. There's clearly conflict of interest, you know, and the whole thing is not straight. And that is why Kenyans are agitated. Why would you want to spend 104 billion shillings on a system that is not necessary? It was quite okay to improve the existing one, between 7 to 800 million to do the same purpose. So you can see some people somewhere, are conflicted.
Rigiji vile vile aliweza kuzungumzia mambo na abductions katika taifa letu la Kenya. Na mengi zaidi usikiliza kinena.
Your Excellency, some leaders are stating that President William Ruto and the UDA government, or the Kenya Kwanza government, in light of what happened to you and what happened to the country, is going to be a one-term. Today you are speaking to a country that is watching. Millions of them are watching, including President William Ruto. How do you tell Kenyans to deal with this regime?
Well. the people of Kenya must be resolute and steadfast, because this administration has become very intolerant to divergent opinion, and it is brutal with anybody who doesn't toe the line, and we are slowly sliding into dictatorship and a police state, a country of abductions and extrajudicial killing. This administration cannot take dissent from anybody. That is why a popular deputy president elected by the people had to be impeached and removed from office because he's not a yes man, and he has refused to join the praise and worship choir, and he is standing by the people. This administration is intolerant to an extent that when Gen Zs rose to speak their mind, they were butchered and massacred in cold blood. This is a government now that abducts anybody who dares question anything in this country, despite us being a democracy. The culture of abductions, we have perfected it to an extent. Even neighboring countries are asking us to help them in abducting people. And a Ugandan leader was abducted, and the Kenyan government was saying it doesn't know. Yet the Ugandan government the following day was thanking the people of the government of Kenya for the cooperation. This is a government that is intolerant even to the church. The Catholic bishops, PCA Church, Anglican Church, Evangelicals, Pentecostals, even the Akorino sect that has never had a press conference since inception, are saying, oh, it's not well. You have found pastors now being abducted. Leaders. You saw the senator of Laikipia being forced to resign as commissioner of the Parliamentary Service Commission because he voted against my impeachment. Leaders are being threatened. They will be removed from committees. The people of Kenya must be resolute, and they must not agree to buy fear. The political persecution of the 90s during the Nyayo era are back. The police state is now activated. I feel embarrassed because in Kasarani, I told the people that they shall be free to say what they want, and they will not be talking through WhatsApp because spies are listening to their phones. Now they're even listening to WhatsApp. People have to look for other platforms. It's very intolerant. Again, there is suppression of alternative view, and I really want our administration to accept that we are in the 21st century.
Do you regret supporting President Ruto? Do you regret being part of the people that formed this government?
Well, before I answer that question, let me first say that I call upon this administration to abandon the culture of abductions and forced disappearances. In fact, much as the president has been very unfair to me, as a Christian, sometimes I feel for him, because on these matters of abductions, I sat him down and I told him, Mr. President, don't deny these abductions because they are going on. And these security chiefs of yours are cheating you, and they are setting you up against the people of Kenya. And that is why the people of Kenya are saying you are a liar. And I feel for you because this is the information they are giving you. Yet these abductions are taking place daily. And they are recorded. With these smartphones now, there's nothing you can do in this country that people do not know. And I really tried to plead with the president not to defend that position because the abductions were taking on. It forced me to take the unprecedented action to have a press conference after the president. I went to Mombasa and called a press conference to condemn abductions and extrajudicial killings because they were going on when I can see. And the president was adamant there is nothing like that.
So
and these security people, when the Inspector General says there are no abductions, they are not done by police, then who is doing them? Why hasn't he arrested the people if it is not the police who is doing it? Then if it's not the DCI, why is he not arresting the people who are doing it because they are going on?
In very few words. In very few words, do you regret forming this regime?
I don't regret having supported President William Ruto. One, I got the opportunity to serve and to learn. And I am a wiser person, I'm more knowledgeable, and I have more experience. The mistakes I made then, I will not make them now. The only regret I have is that I dealt with President William Ruto as a Christian.
All right.
I trusted him. I believed in him. Whatever he told me, I took it as the truth and acted blindly.
Excellency.
Another day, given another opportunity, I'll engage him as a politician. And as a politician, you trust nobody. But again, I'm also happy that I served with him because I've also known him. And President Kenyatta had told us many things. And we doubted. Now that I know. So I am happy that I worked with him. I know him. And along the way,
all right,
the people of Kenya, we all know who he is.
All right.
As we move on.
Excellency, we are really pressed for time. But a section of Kenyans want the entire political leadership out, be it President William Ruto, yourself, Raila Odinga, everyone, and have a complete fresh start. What makes you qualify for that fresh start?
Whatever decision the people of Kenya make, we go with it. The people are sovereign, and we must respect the will of the people. If along the way the people of Kenya feel they want to do away with all of us, I included,
all right,
so be it.
Thank you very much.
You have said that, you said something about one term. I'm not qualified to say that President William Ruto will be one term. That is a decision the people of Kenya will make. But it will be informed by how he proceeds going forward.
Your allies have suggested that he must be one term.
That is their view.
Will you take part in that cause to ensure that he's one term?
That is their view, and I hope they will not be harassed because of this intolerance. That is how they feel. But the president has work to do. He has 1 year, 2025. 2026, people will hit the road. When I listen to his backyard on the mountain, it's gone.
All right.
When I listen to Gen Zs, they are gone. When I listen to people who have pay slips, they have a problem. So he has a lot to do because he came in on a very popular platform of the Hustler Nation. He has really to honor the promises he made to the people of Kenya.
All right.
And there are very many. And he doesn't have much time. It must be within 1 year.
All right.
1 year.
Wazo lako mpenzi mtazamaji ni lipi? Sema nasi na rejea na mengi tena zaidi. Tafadhali kile ambacho nakuomba zidi kupiga subscription. Mwenyezi Mungu akulinde. Tupatane kwa kanda ijayo.